What's up, y'all? Another episode of Nights at the Round Table. Hey, today we're going to talk about going faster, that incessant need to speed up the process. I don't know about y'all, but for me, every time I want something to happen in my life, it needs to happen fast. But I can't figure out why sometimes. It's like I want to skip all the necessary steps just to get to what I want. Sometimes slow is better. That's what we're going to talk about today. We hope you guys enjoy it. Hey, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, everywhere. We love you guys so much. Enjoy this episode of Nights at the Round Table. And welcome to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. Tis your boy, Man Weezy. I got my queen here to the left, Be Real to the right. We having a good time right now. We are jumping back into Gallegos because they sent us a whole box.
Thank you, Gallegos.
Of rosé. So we trying to rosé all day. So it's the second time that we are sipping on the Gallegos. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for this.
You can cheers up top.
Guys.
There's no rules.
I only did that so there was no silence. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah?
I feel good. I feel like you're right. I want this to go up.
Yeah, you should put it up more. Yeah. All you got to do is loosen the silver thing. Yep.
Okay.
While my wife is adjusting her microphone. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling very, at peace. Ange mentioned that we're in these new digs for this season, this new spot. And I'm feeling real kind of like we have our own space. We have our own area to just kind of like be us. It's quiet. It's chill.
It's a very
peaceful.
Very good energy in the room right now.
Yeah.
It feels peaceful, feels calm.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, I hope you are. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell so you get notifications of our videos. And I promise you, it'll help us. It'll help you. I'll love you more. My love is 100% conditional with you guys. I'm just kidding. Hey, so today's episode, we're going to talk about fast stuff, like life being fast.
Fast lane.
The fast lane and the need for stuff to go quickly.
Yeah.
One thing I would love if it went quickly. My quest for abs. I would love
weight loss
for
that
the
is
fat
true.
to just go fast.
The journey to your dream body. If it could be in a weekend.
If
you could just
you can do a weekend, I can do anything for 48 hours. Anything.
Huh. That would be amazing. If you could lose weight as quick as you gain it, that would be awesome.
Oh my
At
gosh.
least women.
If it didn't get harder when you got older. I just want it fast. I want it fast. I like my fast cars. I can't do slow cars anymore.
Food. I want my food immediately.
Yeah.
Not fast food, but just quicker at me.
I mean, I do like fast food, but
Stop.
I
Stop.
do want my food quicker, which is why we use the microwave a lot, which you probably shouldn't, but we do.
Yeah, no, I want...
Instant gratification of taking a picture. Like, we're so used to you take a picture and then you look at your phone and you go, take another one.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Polaroid
Back in
what?
the day, we used to have to go develop film. But now we're used to, instant gratification.
It needs to be fast. It needs to be fast so that we can appease whatever it is that we're trying to appease.
And what's funny is our first it was go develop the film, and then we came out with Polaroid. But even that wasn't quick enough, because what do? We shake it to go quicker.
Yeah, we do shake it to go quicker. I remember watching this comedian. Who was he? He was somebody talking about our cell phones, and he was like, we get so mad because we want the internet on the phone to go so fast. And we get mad. It's like, damn it, my phone, why is it not going faster? And he's like, because it has to go to outer space and come back to you. So give it a break. I was dying because I am that person that is like, I need a new phone. This junk is way too slow.
You eat fast, too.
Yep.
I do eat fast.
We'll have a meal, and Manny's done by the time I sit down to start eating.
I grew up with Monica. If you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat.
Friends quote.
Friends quote.
I love packages that get to my house fast.
Amazon.
It's funny because I'm like, if an Amazon package now in Prime can't get to me like a week later, I'm like, oh my God, This is so slow.
A week?
I gotta find somewhere else. I gotta get this package to me.
Bro,
Like, I need
if it
this
doesn't happen
external
in-
battery that I'm only gonna use in emergency situations. I need it by Tuesday. Listen.
If it doesn't happen in 2 days, I'm pissed at this point.
Yeah.
I will go to 5 different websites to find that package who isn't affected by the corona. They're just like, I'm going to give it to you in 2 days. Now I'm waiting at least 7 for everything. You want it fast.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is in me that, I don't know. Like, I'm that same kid though. As soon as I bought a gift, I can't wait to give it to you.
Oh my God, Manny is so frustrating. We'll give somebody a gift, right? It'll be in a bag. And Manny will go, hey, happy birthday. Here, it's a dress.
I need them to know.
Happy birthday, it's rosé.
I need to know the reaction. I'm also the same kid that we know when you were young, you bought clothes for school,
Yeah.
but you didn't want to wait till school to wear them. So like I would buy new kicks for school and it's like, those are your school shoes, but I would want to wear them the same day. I'm that guy that buys shoes and wears them out the store. It's just this need. And I don't know what it is yet though. I don't know what it is in me that has to have things happen quicker than being patient.
It's I would say it's an epidemic today. Hurry and the fast lifestyle, because, we're living in a day and age where our technology, the speed of life, the amount of news that's coming to us on any given day,
Right.
the tweets, social network, these smartphones, right? I heard some statistic. I don't know how accurate it is. So if someone could fact check me, thank you. We touch our phone a little over 2,000 times a day on average.
Ooh.
Like, when you just think about that, like, people, we'll pick up our phone and there's no notifications.
For no reason.
And like we're expecting that, like, oh, it's gonna come real quick. But like we are such in a place where life has become so fast. And there's this thing, I was reading about it in the 50s. There was this cardiologist. Let me see, what was her name? I gotta find this here.
Well, while you find that, can I say something about touching the phone
Yeah.
too much? When I did my social media fast, I realized how connected I was to my phone, that even though I knew I was not on social media for this whole month, I would still pick up my phone and I would go to where the icon used to be and I would go to tap on it and be like, oh, wait, I'm not on it. It took me like a good 2 weeks to stop picking up my phone to go click on Instagram. Oh, I don't even have it on my phone anymore.
I hit 40 and right now I'm not lying. I hate my phone. I hate my phone and I hate social media. I love it because at least you guys we're able to give you some content, but I hate the fact that it's constant. Like you have to constantly get it.
Yeah, that I need it. So there is this thing called hurry sickness. Okay, so this term was first coined back in the 1950s by this cardiologist, Dr. Meyer Friedman. And he was researching causes of heart disease.
Whoa.
So how would he describe hurry sickness? It would be described as this. It is a behavior pattern characterized by continual rushing and anxiousness, an overwhelming and continual sense of urgency. Does anybody feel that? A continual sense of urgency. I got to get something done. Okay, I got to go.
Yep.
And
Hustle.
as if that wasn't bad enough, it's also defined as a melee in which a person feels chronically short of time and so tends to perform every task faster and to get flustered when encountering any kind of delay. Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
I think it's kind of me
That's my
on some
husband.
stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
A person feels chronically short of time, which is always funny because we always say, man, God, I wish I had another couple hours to get stuff done. And the truth is, if you had extra hours, you'd still be doing what you're doing.
I mean, that's what we're all doing in this
Yeah.
pandemic. We're like, oh, if I only had more time, I would read books.
Yeah.
I have all the time. I'm reading no books.
So I thought this would be interesting, and I thought this would be good for us. There is an actual hurry sickness quiz. Now, again, these quizzes, obviously, to get you thinking, it's not like, oh my God, I've been diagnosed with hurry sickness. I'm not trying to be that. But we're going to kind of open this up a little bit more. But I'm going to ask you some questions. So those of you listening, I want you to just honestly answer this within yourself. First question, do you often feel in a hurry to get things done?
Yeah. Do I feel in a hurry to get things done? Yeah, I do.
Like just
yes,
day-to-day
me, no.
tasks.
I need to get it done. It bothers me if we don't.
For sure. Yes. Manny, yes, me, no.
Yeah. Do you tend to walk fast?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw a meme the other day that was so funny. That was like, I walk fast, but that's because all my years of cheerleading, when I was yelled at to get there quickly, and if I didn't get there within an 8 count, then I wasn't there on time. I thought that was hilarious.
I would have to say mine comes from New York. From being in New York so much,
Mm-hmm.
I've developed that type of
And
mentality.
it's funny because I find myself getting mad when there's people walking in front of me that are slow.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me speed walk. Let me get
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
I got to get in front. And how much time am I going to save myself in the end? 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You know. All right. Do you tend to talk fast?
No.
I don't think. Do you think I talk fast?
I think only sometimes.
Sometimes.
So
If I'm passionate, I'll
I
talk
talk
fast.
super slow.
Fourth, do you get irritated or upset at other drivers or when stuck in traffic?
Yes. I'm upset when they are not as courteous as I am.
And I get it. There's places you got to be.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a time to be there and it feels like, oh my God, we're moving so slow. That's so
Sure.
irritating. But that means like you're hurrying when you don't have to.
Yep,
Right.
that's me. That's me.
Different
That's
when
me.
you
That's
don't
me.
have to. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I had an appointment and I was getting there. I would be on time, but what happened was I got off the exit and instead of turning right on the first street, I turned right to get back on the freeway accidentally, and so now I'm back on the freeway going the opposite direction of my appointment. So then I became get out of the way, everybody.
Yeah. Do you find it difficult to just sit and daydream or recall memories?
No.
That I'm good at.
Just to sit and be.
What? Wait. Let me stop. I usually have daydreams when I'm doing something. Like if I'm on the treadmill or if
Yeah.
I'm doing some kind of, then I'll daydream. I don't necessarily just sit and daydream.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily, I don't know if this applies to what he's talking about, but sit and be. Like you always have to sit and be on your laptop, on your
Yeah.
phone, watching the Netflix, all the things, researching Portia, all the things at one time. Is that?
Yeah, I do always feel like I have
Yeah.
something to do. Yeah.
Do your spouse, friends, or colleagues ever tell you to take it easy or slow down?
Nope.
No, I think I'm good at chilling.
Yeah.
I don't think I put so much on my
Yeah.
plate that I have seasons of hurry. But when I'm in that season, I'm going hard.
All right. How often do you find yourself interrupting the person with whom you were talking to? The need to interject and to get your point. Like, oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna let you finish, but and you get to that.
Man, it really depends on what conversation I'm in. If I get
Yeah.
passionate, then it's really not that I need to interject, but it's like I want to say all the words that are in my head.
Yeah.
So maybe, depending on what conversation we're having.
I don't think that's an issue for me. I know I have done that in the past, but I don't think it's something that I regularly do. No.
Yeah.
I think I do it more when people are bullshitting me.
Yeah.
Then
get
I
that.
interject.
Let's say last thing. Do you get irritated when the line at the grocery store is too long?
I do go for the short line.
Yeah.
Sure, of course. Everybody goes for the short line. But are you the one who goes from this line to this line to this line, watching it to see like
Yeah.
how closely? it
Nah,
gets up?
I'm the guy that's like, babe, go stand in that line. I'll stand in this line. Whoever gets there first.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I've definitely learned to chill.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I guess I would have, I don't know if I failed that test, but I feel like when it comes to certain things, like a dream that you want, the man/woman that you want, when it comes to certain things, I don't know of anyone that likes to wait. I've never heard one person say, I love my salary. I'd love to wait till I made more money. Like, I don't think I deserve more money right now.
I mean, it's a common phrase to say, oh, I can't wait for blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can't wait till this weekend. Oh, I can't wait till my birthday. Oh, I can't wait till I get married. Oh, I can't wait till I have kids. I can't, that's a common phrase.
Well, when you're younger, you wanted to be old so bad. And then when you're old, you just want to be young.
Yeah.
Like, slow this down. Like, let's slow it down a little bit. I pulled my back last week and this week. Slow it down. Let's just slow it down. And I don't understand. I don't understand what it is.
This is 40.
I remember when I was touring, I always wanted so badly for success to come faster.
Sure.
It didn't make sense that it was happening faster for everyone else when I felt I was so deserving of success. So when I would say, oh, I believe that God has my steps ordered, I don't ever think he gave me the right route. It was always like, bruh, you gave me the scenic route. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why is this taking so
why
long?
is this so long? And I don't think I've arrived. I think I'm still on the route. I'm better at handling the scenic route because now I'm stopping to smell the flowers. But still a big part of me that feels like success is not happening quick enough. And it's kind of asinine to say because we are successful. But I don't know. There's something in my mind that says it still hasn't happened yet.
Well, I was just talking to somebody a couple days ago, and we were talking about my first stand-up TV appearance. What was that? And I was like, oh, it was Premium Blend on Comedy Central years ago. And oddly enough, on that episode was also Amy Schumer. It was both of our first Comedy Central appearances. And the person I was talking to, I was like, and then our careers took different roads. And I was like, our careers took different paths. And he was like, no, did they? And I was like, no, you're right. Like, we're on a path. It's just hers is hers and mine is mine. But she's on seems like she's on a speed train and I'm still on a horse and buggy. Yeah. And it feels like that sometimes. But I'm sure she may feel that way about something else in her life. You know, it's always a comparison. What are you comparing it? Not as fast as this or whatever. But if I couldn't see what anyone else is doing, I'd probably think I was just fine on my pace of things. But because I can see what someone else accomplished, then I go, oh, how come I haven't done that? Oh, man.
It's not happening fast enough.
Yeah.
What is fast enough? Like, if you had to, like, give a definition for it, what is fast enough?
I think for me, the fast enough definition is it's not slow. Because to me, slow, for a lot of people, has such a bad connotation, right? Like, when you get bored in a movie that's really long, you're like, oh, the movie was so slow. You lost your attention, right? You're in a restaurant and the service is terrible. What do you say? Oh, it's got slow service. We think of people who mentally just are kind of dull. Like, oh, that person is slow. So slow already in this context of the culture we're living in has such a bad connotation. We associate bad things with slow. So if we take that, fast is good, slow is bad.
Right.
So for me, it's one of those things where COVID has affected all of us. And COVID, the biggest thing it disrupted was my schedule. And I realized how terrible my schedule was. I was working every single day. I was working like 12, 13-hour days during the week, like with just everything going on. And when COVID first hit, and just got some really good stuff to say, but I just felt so like disoriented. I was at home. I was sitting on my couch. I was having a cup of coffee with my wife at the table, which never happens. And I'm thinking, God, I need to be doing something right now. I'm not productive. Yeah. And if I'm not productive, what value am I bringing? So it's like all of a sudden slow is just like, oh my God, I got to deal with my inner demons now. You know, like all these sorts of things. So I think fast for a lot of people, fast is nice because there's some painful things that we can avoid in our fast lifestyle. And I think slow turns us off so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's so many layers to this conversation.
It's crazy because we're so used to everything being fast around us. When we want something, we can have it. And I don't know. I think that's probably producing within us a wrong mindset.
100%.
It's
I think if we
entitlement in some
disconnected,
ways,
if we disconnected like you did, you just went on a trip where it was just you, a canoe out in the like whatever. I guarantee you didn't look at your watch.
No.
You didn't care about time. It wasn't like whatever. Like it gets dark when it's dark, and because what are you caring about time for? You're literally just enjoying being there, just the moment of now. You're enjoying it. For me, fast enough means skip all the hard parts. I just want you to skip all the hard parts, God. I basically am asking you for me to be an anorexic when it comes to faith. I don't want anything hard. I want everything easy. It just needs to be easy. And it's funny because I'm a parent now by accident. Our godson is living with us, and I understand when people say that you learn a lot when you have a kid. So we have one now, and I'm having this conversation with him about soccer because he tells me he wants to be a really good soccer player. So I say, how do you become a really good soccer player? He's like, well, you gotta, you gotta be good at what you do. And I'm like, well, how do you get good? And he couldn't give me an answer. I'm like, is cardio necessary to be a good soccer player? And he's like, yeah, you gotta have good cardio. I was like, well, do you have good cardio? And he's like, well, when I'm working on it. I'm like, well, are you working on it? He's like, no. And I'm like, so you don't have good cardio? No, I don't. But how are you going to get better at being a soccer player? Well, I need to get a goalie net and practice blocking shots. And I was like, wait. So you're going to tell me that you want to skip the getting in shape, the cardio, the whatever, and go straight to us just getting you a goalie net so that you can become a better goalie? And he's like, yeah, that's the only way I'm going to become a better goalie. And I was like, bruh, you're asking to skip all the necessary foundational things that you're supposed to be as a soccer player. Well, I don't have to run. I'm just a goalie. Everyone else has to run. I was like, so you don't want to build with the team? While the whole team is running, you just want to sit there and stare at them and just be like, well, I'm the goalie. I don't have to run. I'm just going to watch you guys run. You want to skip all the hard parts, get the glory at the end, and you're okay with that. And as I'm listening to him, I'm like, man, this is me in life. I'm uncomfortable with it taking so long because within that waiting period, I have to answer the question, am I good enough?
Yeah.
And most of the time, I hate the answer to that question because my insecurities undoubtedly point to no. And why is it no? Because it hasn't happened quick enough.
Yeah.
And that really bothers me.
Earlier this year, before COVID, I had been taking a break, and in my mind, I was going to disconnect from social media. I deleted the apps, everything. I was going to rest and unplug, and I was going to get reconnected with my creator and my creativity, and I was going to start creating amazing things out of the overflow. Because I'm so connected with my creator that I'm just overflowing with creativity. My month of January goes by. I'm off social media. Now we're in February. And I'm like, I don't feel creative yet. I don't have anything to say yet. What the heck, God? Did I hear you wrong? Like, I thought I was supposed to, like, get in touch with you, and then now I'm going to be creative. Like, why? Where's the creativity? What do I have to say? What do I have to create? Where's the TV show ideas? Where's the book idea? Where's all the things? And it was not there yet. And to the point where I started doubting the season that I was in because it wasn't coming quick enough. I set out to do a thing. I'm going to take a break, get in touch with my creator, and start creating. This is my plan. Sure, it's a good plan. But then when it wasn't happening in the time that I allotted or I thought it would happen that soon. Then we're in February, and I'm like, ooh, I don't have anything to say yet. And then we're in March, and I'm like, oh, and then my managers are asking me, like, hey, so what's your plan? What do you want to do? This is before everybody went on a world pandemic lunch break. And I was like, I don't know yet. I thought I would know.
Yeah.
It turns out I don't. I don't know what to do. And I'm literally having a meeting with my manager saying, like, I thought I would know what I wanted, and I don't at this point. And I'm frustrated with myself. I'm disappointed in myself. And I was having my own dark moments and thoughts like, oh, my God, I misheard you, Lord. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And, like, oh, my God. And then coronavirus, world pandemic, everyone goes on a break. And then I'm realizing what I'm supposed to be learning is how to rest, unplug, detox from the hustle, detox from the grind, detox from the hurry, this hurry syndrome, whatever it is. I'm supposed to detox from it all. But I was trying to hurry up and detox from the hurry.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It's crazy because whether you believe in Jesus and you're a believer, or you believe in a higher power, or even if you don't, okay, the practice of meditation or prayer is a powerful tool. Why is it powerful? Because you are trying to tune your attention away from all these other things, all these things that you got to do, all these things that you got to accomplish, and your attention is going to now, and it's going to your breath. And all of a sudden you become aware of everything that is happening in the present moment. And that's the thing, is there's this one author, and he would argue, he would say this. He says that the greatest enemy to your spiritual growth, which right there, if you're thinking right now before I tell you, some of you might be thinking, oh, greed. It might be lust. You got some addiction to pornography or something. Or it might be gambling. You got, whatever it is. But the greatest enemy to your spiritual growth is hurry. Because any growth that happens in that place is always slow, right? You can't, you don't make a saint overnight.
Yeah.
You don't just pop them and hey, we're going to go to saint camp next weekend. And come Monday morning, you're a saint. And you have brand new character and brand new desires and all this sorts of stuff. Any process worth taking, falling in love is a slow process. You might first feel the feelings of oh my God, you're the greatest thing in the entire world. But you don't build trust overnight.
Right.
Trust is a slow process. Gaining someone's respect, does that come fast? No, it's slow, right? So all these things that are, I would argue, the most important things, most valuable things in life, always happen on a slow pace. And we hate that. As Christians, we say, I'm running after God, brother or sister. But the truth is, Jesus was always saying, hey, follow me, come walk with me, right? There is this imagery of walking with God. And there's this Japanese theologian, his name was Kosuke Koyama, and he has this book, I forgot the name of the actual book, but I'll read you a quote from it. It says, love has its speed. It is a different kind of speed from the technological speed to which we are accustomed. It goes on in the depth of life at 3 miles per hour. It is the speed we walk, and therefore the speed the love of God walks with us.
So good.
So if we believe that God is love, that love is not running, that love is walking with us as we are walking, And again, the reason he arrived at this conclusion was he's going based off these different passages in Scripture where Jesus is walking through these villages and he's noticing people. He notices the blind man by the side of the road. He notices the beggar. He notices the leper. But you just think, if Jesus was in a sports car,
right,
and he's driving through Samaria, he's not going to catch the woman at the well.
Yep.
The only reason he could see these things and he could see these people was because of the speed he was living at. Jesus lived a very unhurried life, yet he got everything done that he was supposed to.
Sheesh.
And that's always a temptation with us. It's why there is this thing ingrained in us that we feel, if I can move faster, I can accomplish more. Now, sure, is there an element that's true to that? Absolutely. But the things that are worthwhile, the things that are really valuable, would take time. And so,
I mean, you can probably, if you're listening, you can probably date a lot of your broken hearts to hurry.
Yeah.
Hurry past the red flag. Hurry past the character check. If sex isn't happening by date 3, y'all are behind everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't dated in a while, but when I'm hearing a lot of my friends talk about it, it's shoot, if sex ain't happening ASAP, then it's it ain't a good thing. It's literally, when I was dating back in the day, it's man, it's taking 8 months, a year before, you're really committed like that. And obviously, if you're a believer, you're trying not to, but it was taking a lot longer, Now it's it is normal. Date 3, date 4. And that bothers me because kind of like what you're saying, if you rush into situations, especially something like that, sexually or in something that is important, you are bound to miss the actual value of what it is that slow teaches you.
Yeah.
When you get success quick, you lose the value of privacy. You lose the value of a dollar. It came quick, so you spend quick.
Yeah.
I always hear Mike Tyson talks. I listen to his podcast now, and he's like, at my richest, when I had $100 million, I was at my lowest because the lifestyle was so fast.
Yeah.
I couldn't get enough. I wanted all the fast cars. I wanted all the women. I just needed it. I knew that when I got back to my room, there was somebody going to be there waiting for me. I just wanted it all, and it had to come fast.
Wow.
So he lost out on what slow actually taught him, which is how to hold the weight of success. You know, with sex, I always talk to my friend about it, and I tell her, hey, man, you do understand that you're giving away the most valuable thing that you possess within you. It's literally the only thing that you can offer that technically no one's supposed to have access to, but you're able to offer it to a person. And when you do that to someone that has not earned it, or has not shown you what trust can do or what love can do, which can only be built over time, you're basically giving them the value of who you are. Your value is 3 dates. Your value is a dinner at Panera, and, you know, let's go at it.
Not Panera.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Like, this is where your value is at. And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to shame anyone. I'm not saying if you out there getting yours, like, if that's the life you want to live, I'm with it, like, to a degree. Like, do your thing. I'm just saying you set a value based on how quickly things come.
Yeah.
We were talking about we like fast food.
In multiple ways.
Yeah. Yeah. You were talking about, like, quick food, right? We went to, what restaurant was it that we went to? Was it that French restaurant in New York where we all went to?
Yeah, Danielle's.
When that food...
It was a 2-hour ordeal.
It was a 2-hour
Easy.
ordeal.
But ordeal make it sound negative. It was a
No.
2-hour experience.
Yes.
Correct, but
Way
we were
better.
not concerned with how quick things came,
Oh, we wanted
because
to go
when we
slow.
went in there, we prepared, right? What did we do? We all got dressed up.
Dressed up.
We all brought our best outfits.
Yeah.
Everybody got dolled up. Then we get to that place. We were all acting right. Nobody was acting ghetto like we typically are. We weren't loud. We understood. We walked in. We were the only people of color there. So we were like, we need to act right. We need to act right.
We were the youngest ones.
The youngest people,
Yeah.
none but old people there. So everything about it, we even walked slower. We walked slower to our table, sat down slow, put that napkin on our freaking lap slow, and we didn't complain once about how long the food took. Why? Because we understood we were stepping into a 5-star restaurant.
Michelin star.
Our
Michelin.
Michelin, and we were expecting an amazing experience. So we were willing to wait.
Let's go again.
We were willing to wait.
Yeah.
Let that be like the lesson. But if we go into a Burger King and that takes 30 minutes to get our burger, we are pissed. Why? Because we have lower expectations of Burger King than we do that French restaurant.
And you don't, like, you're eating that Burger King because you might like it. But I don't think, I think there'd be a very small percentage of people who are eating a Whopper and it's like, man, I am just so enjoying this right now. Like, it might be like, all right, cool, it's good. Like, I got to get to my next spot. But that's the thing about moving at a unhurried pace. Because, again, I think there's also, and I don't want to get stuck in the rhetoric of all this, but there is something about living an unhurried life. You can still get things done. You can still accomplish great things, but there's that hurry that you can feel. Because I always think, I always look back, when I am living in a hurried way, life is usually happening to me and not necessarily through me. I'm just, I got to just absorb kind of everything that's happening. But when I am slow and I get centered and I get aligned again, it's all of a sudden I get to live with intentionality.
Yeah.
So now I'm living life through me. But I also think about the times that I'm most hurried in my life, my personality changes, right? So if I'm in a hurried place and I got to get somewhere and Maddie's running late, which doesn't happen, I'm usually the one running late. But for an example, if Maddie's running late in this hypothetical situation and when I'm hurried and I'm trying to get out of the door and she's still getting ready, do you think in that moment that I am going to exude patience, that I'm going to exude love, that I am going to be kind in that situation? Most likely not. Like, we're usually at our worst when we're hurried. It's usually when I'm hurried, I'm the guy that's like, hey, F you, flipping some guy off on the freeway.
Right.
But if I wasn't such in a hurried life, like, I think there would probably be a lot more love in my life, at least that I can show.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot more joy, because joy is always connected to gratitude, and gratitude is always centered in you being present in the moment.
Yeah.
Because, again, if you can't experience joy now, you'll never know true joy. God is always here in the present, and we're trying to find him in the future and our past. God is here now. So if you're not here now, you're not where God's at.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, too, is peace. How many times have you been in a hurried moment and you're rushing and you feel peace
Yeah.
in your heart? You don't. So it's interesting because as you guys know, as a Christian, like when I think of what the kingdom of God should be, it's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. It's gentle, it's faithful, and there's self-control. But none of those characteristics would I describe as being really actual, like, visible in my life when I am living at a fast pace and a hurried way. Those things just aren't visible.
Right.
So it's like, it's one of those things, again, coming to, we want everything fast, but dude, this is slow. When I look at, like, Father Abraham in the Bible, like, you just think he's considered the father of faith. How fast was his lifestyle? He wasn't out here on horses racing on the backside of the desert. He was on camels.
Right.
He was in a tent. He had time to look at the stars. When's the last time you had time to look at the stars?
Right.
We're so hurried that we miss it. But, you know, it's like this guy moved and he walked with God, you know? And it's been so challenging to me. There was this one pastor I really follow, really admire. His name's Brian Zond. And he had this dream, and I might have shared this on the pod before, but in this dream, he is in New York in modern day. And he's going around asking people, he's like, hey, can you point me, can you lead me to the faith of Father Abraham? I'm looking for the faith of Abraham. And everyone is like, doesn't have directions for him. Everyone's like, I don't know. I don't know where you could find that. So he finally ends up in this like conference-like setting in this arena, and there's like, you know, the lights and the effects, and there's this big worship band playing and this very dynamic preaching and stuff like that. And he steps into this arena with all these people, and he realizes, I can't find the faith of Abraham here. So he leaves. So he finds himself feeling disappointed in the dream after walking out of this arena, because he thought, hey, there seems like a lot of life in here. Seems like a lot of faith in the building, but it's not here. So he's walking back and forth and just trying to find his way. And he ends up in this alleyway with this little quaint, tiny bookstore. And so he has this something inside of him like, hey, I want to walk inside this bookstore and see. So he walks inside the bookstore, and he notices that there's this figure sitting in this couch in the back. And so he finds his way. He walks to the back. And in the dream, he realizes this is Father Abraham. But in the dream, he looked like Father Abraham Heschel, who's like kind of Jewish thought leader. Theologian. And so he sits, and Father Abraham sits before him and says, hey, I heard you've been looking for my faith. And next to him are these stacks of books on prayer and being. And he realized at the end of the dream, this is where it's found, right? Like prayer, you don't speed through prayer.
Right.
You can't speed through meditation. You can't be like, 1, 2, but you know, like it's slow, it's controlled. Why? Because there's beauty in that, and you actually get to be present in the moment. And it's the same thing with faith. You never rush prayer. Prayer is always a slow process, and I truly believe that that's where true faith is found. It's not found in the hustle and the bustle. It's found in these moments of solitude and rest and just not hurried and being.
The irony of that, the only times I remember, the greatest times, like even in our marriage, the greatest memories that I have are memories where we're unplugged. Like, it's been great. Like, we've had some great, like, we've had some great things happen as far as our careers.
Yeah.
You know, like you've seen me on arena tours. I've got to see you, you know, play massive tours. Those were fun. But what stays in my mind are the times where we were completely disconnected with the world, walking somewhere in Dublin, when we were in that castle, not on our phones, just experiencing life. when we were in Greece, walking through that town, eating on that, on that little, it looked like a house that somebody just fed us. Like we didn't look at the time. We weren't whatever. It was just so good. And those are the things that stick with me. Everything that's rushed or whatever, like I don't know. For me, I don't remember anything in my life that wasn't fully consumed in that moment. And I know a lot of you, well, some of you may be thinking my life is fast and it's out of my control. I got 4 kids. There's no such thing as slowing down
Right.
with 4 kids. You can't slow down. And I'm not even going to pretend to know what that feels like. We kind of have one. So, and it is a constant me having to think, what do I have to do? What does he have to do? He's supposed to be doing something and I'm supposed to be making sure that he's doing it. So I can imagine multiple kids and you having to make sure that they're where they need to be at the time they need to be.
Yeah, soccer
That must
practice.
feel like you have to rush your life.
Right.
I think what we're saying is in that chaotic structure, in the craziness, make it a priority to take time for yourself to just slow it down, even if it involves your kids. Like take a family moment to just slow down, look at each other, and just take it in.
Yeah.
We've been doing that in this quarantine because we have a bigger family now, and we every dinner time we take time to say our gratefuls, our highs and lows. We talk about our life and we just slow down, and it's so special to me because I never had that growing up. Like we didn't have dinner together, me and my parents. Never. The first time we ever had dinner was Thanksgiving when you and I were already married. I was probably like 34 years old. It's the first time my family and I ever had dinner. We ever slowed down and just ate dinner. And it was so special, like to this
and
day.
that might be something to the family that you're speaking to, the person who has the 4 kids, that it feels a rush. How can I slow that down? Like, do you guys have dinner together? Or even if it's not every day because someone has soccer practice, the other one has theater, the other one has whatever. But do you have a moment where you're all in the same room at the same time and you can say something that you're grateful for, or just everyone implement a pause in your life? Like that is something that you didn't have. I didn't have that growing up either. I feel like it's a new era. Maybe there were some people who are our age that grew up with that kind of lifestyle, but that is a very cool tool to have to implement in your life. Is like, let's implement a group pause where we just, maybe it is breathing together, maybe it is doing a breathing technique or a meditation, or maybe it's just pause to say, hey, let's all say one thing that we're grateful for. That's something I started implementing in my touring. I've been touring for 13 years. I didn't do that the first 12 years, but in this past year, 2 years actually, the past 2 years that I was touring, I started practicing gratitude. And if I was in a comedy club, I would do it with the entire wait staff. And we would sit before they opened the doors and started letting people in. And I would ask people to go around the room, tell me your name, and tell me something you're grateful for. And for multiple reasons, because gratitude just elevates your frequency. Gratitude begets gratitude. It's just, we're changing our vibe, we're setting the tone, and all of that kind of stuff. But also, it's let's pause our thoughts that are moving so fast, our anxiety, because there's about to be 500 people in this comedy club, and rush, hurry, get them their French fries and all that kind of stuff. So I started implementing the last 2 years of touring, let's pause for gratitude. Or even if it's just in my green room at a theater and it's whoever is in my entourage, my good friends, and my security that's at the door, whoever it is, let's just go around the room and let's all say something that we're grateful for, and shift the atmosphere and the attitude, and let's just pause from like hurry. It's powerful.
Yeah. I would say I've experienced the most joy in recent years during this time of COVID. And again, because I think joy is always so linked to gratitude. And again, to say, I mean, to be happy and to be joyful can be two different things. So things could still be bad in your life, really bad. but you could still have joy. Because joy is never this exterior thing that you have outside of you. Joy is always something that you can have access to, whatever's in your hand in the current moment.
Yeah.
And so, man, it's like I have found myself being in this place of being so present, and it's like changing my life. Like, it really is. Like, for the first time, I'm like, man, even in recent years, like, we can pray and not necessarily be present. I've done that for many years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that prayer time. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, all right, let me get through this.
How many times have you said to somebody, yeah, I'll pray for you? When they say, hey, pray for me because I got a big meeting. And you go, okay, cool.
Yeah.
One, do you actually ever pray for them? And
Yeah.
if you do you pause and pray? Or do you go, Lord, bless them. Let them have a good meeting. Bye.
Yeah. It's like you're doing drive-by prayers. Like,
Yeah.
cool. Pow, pow. Let me get this prayer through. All right, bless you, you know? And to me, I'm like, man, I look at the life of Jesus because that's the guy who I aspire to be like. But he was always like, he spent so many moments alone by himself. And again, obviously, there's different situations. So if you got a ton of kids and you got a business to run, all that sorts of stuff, I can't say that you're going to get 2 hours alone to go pray on the mountain to be with the Father.
Right.
But there's still a moment. Maybe that's 5 minutes. Maybe it's 5 minutes just to sit here and just think about God and just think about what's going on around you. But the other thing that I quickly is when I am hurried, I'm usually also multitasking. And I've realized that my attention span isn't as long as I thought it could be, as long as I thought it would be. Because when we first came into this pandemic, I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have tons of time to read. This is exciting. Let me get the book list out. And for the first, I would say like month and a half, I would start to read, and then I would check my phone. I would turn on a TV show, start to read, check my phone, check on Maddie making some sourdough bread. And I started realizing, oh my God, I just read 5 pages and I don't remember a single thing I just read.
Wow.
Like, my mind can't even be on the current book that I'm reading.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, how many times do we find ourselves watching a movie or TV show and you got multiple tabs open on your phone, you're having a conversation with the person next to you, and you're thinking about what you got to do next week. Like our mind can't even be here and now. That is such a challenge for us.
Yes.
And, you know, there's this brilliant man by the name of Walter Brueggemann, and he talked about this. He said, multitasking is the drive to be more than we are and to control more than we do. It's to extend our power and effectiveness, but this practice only yields a divided self.
Oh.
And I was thinking about that. Now, again, there are some times where you have to multitask, right? Like there are, but if we're being really honest, those moments are far and few in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there are going to be some emergency situations. You're going into labor. Yes, you're going to have to drive fast. You're not going to be picking the slowest lane on the freeway.
Right.
But those moments are rare. But for the other times, it's like, man, our attention can't even be on the single thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
We got to do multiple things. But I just think about that. It's the drive to be more than we are and to control more than we do. That's really what it is. Because it's like, it's so crazy.
I feel like the parent listening to this that has multiple kids is like, oh yeah, easy says the 3 people that don't have any kids. Sure.
Absolutely.
We have no idea what your life is like with multiple kids. All I can compare it to is like when I have my family in town and we all decide to, let's go eat somewhere. If we say we're going at 1:00, I'm telling the whole house like 20 times, okay, let's go. Okay. And then one person's sitting like, okay, go do your potty before we leave. Okay, let's go. And then like 20 minutes later, I'm like, yo, all of us, come on. And it's so hard to get everyone out of the house on time. Now, granted, I always run late for anything. I'm not excusing myself. I'm just talking about the dynamic of having multiple people involved and trying not to rush. But as we are in this time of a world pandemic, some of us are on quarantine. Some people, their area where they live are not so quarantined, wherever it is you live. We are all experiencing a restructuring right now. We are all experiencing some shaking up of all systems, government systems, medical systems, grocery systems, the way we walk around in life systems. Like all of these systems are being shook and restructured. We're seeing families that are restructuring. I know multiple families that have moved from the city they live in to a different city to be closer to their family, to be in a slower pace or whatever it is. I know multiple families who have moved out of Los Angeles and into Texas, into Tennessee, and one into Ohio, and there's a lot of restructuring going on right now. So to the family that has multiple kids and all the activities and things going on, we have no idea what your life is like and what you're dealing with. However, you do, and you are the only one who can be honest with yourself and take a real assessment of your life and see, where can I pull back? Where can I slow down? Where can I restructure? Does my child need to be in every single activity this fall? Or can they just focus on these and master these things? Where can I do some restructuring in my own personal life and my own personal family while we are in the season of global restructuring?
Yeah.
Getting in the flow of what is happening globally. Like, now is the time to do that. Now is the time to pause and say, where can I implement an actual pause in my life?
That's really good.
It's necessary. I mean, and I feel like my biggest fear is this thing getting over and us going back to rushing.
Oh, God. I already, when my work started to pick up a little bit and I had like multiple Zooms in a week and I was like, I'm overwhelmed. And then I got on the phone with Jackie and I was like, Jackie, you got to help me with this schedule this week. Like, what can I take off? Like, there's too many things on my schedule. Let's take some stuff off because I'm feeling overwhelmed. And we went through and I had 2 things on my schedule. And I was like, oh, that's it? I thought I had a lot more. I was really overwhelmed. But it's like I'm starting to feel the hustle come back. And I'm like, nah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the hustle's healthy. I think it's healthy to hustle. The problem is that you really need to pay attention to is balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is balance, because you need hustle. You need to go after whatever it
Yeah.
is that you're trying to accomplish. But it's okay to freaking take a break. It
Yes.
really is okay to just relax. Go hard for 3 months, relax for 1. Go hard for 3 months, relax for 1. Like, truly, like when we were in Europe, man, I want to move there so bad because every day at about noon, they have fiesta, or at least siesta, right? In most Dublin, I don't think did it, but in the Spanish countries, I think was more so. It was prevalent, right?
Spain. Spain's the only one that I know that does it. I don't know if Italy does that. I know we enjoyed the slower pace of Italy, and even in like Eat, Pray, Love, where they were talking about Julie Roberts' character goes there and they have their saying in Italian. I don't know how to say it in Italian, but it's basically that the Italians have mastered the art of doing nothing.
Right. Yeah, it was beautiful. Initially, I was annoyed because we wanted to eat or I wanted to shop, I wanted to whatever. I'm like, what the heck is this? Why is everybody just taking a break for the 2 hours in the middle of the day? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But then after a while, we started appreciating it because we were like, oh, well, we can take a nap. We can just like lay down and kind of like whatever, because everyone else is doing the exact same thing. And it became something so kind of like, for me, it was kind of like a romantic idea of a notion. It's like a built-in balanced system where the morning could be crazy. And even if you're at your job, your work, wherever you're at, it's crazy. But they take these 2 hours to just reset and do nothing and chill. And then they go late. Because we're eating dinner and all the streets are filled 11:30 at night. You got 70-year-old people up drinking wine, freaking having the time of their lives. We're up. Dude, I'm sleeping till noon every day. Like, it's amazing. And I feel like their lifestyle is just different. They do stop and smell the roses. Now, granted, I'm sure there's some of them that are just going ham, and that's fine. Yeah. But for the most part, as a society, culturally, it is imperative that you stop and you slow down.
I had this thought as you were talking about New York earlier, and I think it was the dream, and he was going all through the city, and I had this vision of how beautiful it could be. Obviously, what I'm about to say, I'm not talking about like a government mandated thing, but like if this was a cultural thing. Could you imagine like the busy streets of New York, everybody's crossing the streets and like going everywhere and hustle, bustle, whatever. If there was like every day at 1 o'clock, everyone just stopped to breathe for a second and there was like nobody crossing the streets, and everybody just like paused, and at the same time like collectively knowing that your culture was pausing to like do like 5 inhales and exhales and just like pause for a second and then go continue. Could you
It's funny because
imagine how
ironically
beautiful that would be?
we're describing the Muslim culture
Yeah.
where they stop and pray 5 times a day. It's 5 times a day, I believe.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Is
mean,
that?
Yeah, they stop and they pray
Am I
5 times a
Muslim?
day.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what just happened? I think too, like, we're actually supposed to have a day of rest. It's called the Sabbath.
Sure.
But
Which-
how many of us are like, we don't actually.
There is no such thing.
Like, again, one of the commandments is literally to remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. That there's something so holy about slowing down just to pause and reflect.
I mean, we'll argue about what day it's on.
Yeah,
but
that's
either
all right.
way,
Either way, I think
we're
it's-
going to not be chilling on the Sabbath.
Yeah. And, like,
I don't know any family that's chilling trying to get everybody together to go to church.
Is I think like having those times, whether that's a siesta, whether it's having a Sabbath, whether it's having just a moment to go and to pray, like that's one of those things that's going to reset you. And I think that's a much more of a sustainable lifestyle. Like I think the reason that we have so many people struggling with so many different things, I think, man, we would see a lot of mental health be better in people if we had time to pause and to reflect. I think anxiety would go down, anxiousness would go down in people. I think relationships would probably be a little bit stronger if we weren't in such a rush.
Yeah.
Because I just think, man, the fast lifestyle, like, it's not sustainable. It's not. You're going to burn out at some point. And burnouts are never pretty, and they're always bad because it affects so many different people around us. And, like, I don't know. I want to be here for the long run. I don't want my lifestyle now. And, again, there are some seasons of your life that are going to be busier than others. I get that. But at the same time, too, you got to have practices and things to help reset you and get you realigned.
Especially in those busy seasons.
Oh, yeah,
Like you can't
especially.
just, you have to have, if it's going to happen, it needs to happen in that busy season more than anything else. There needs to be some sense of balance. And I think that's really what we're saying. You know, like, it's not a negative thing. It's not a negative thing to want to succeed. And it would be great if it happened quick. But I think there needs to be some sense of appreciation for this process. And you've heard it said before, you know, it's not the destination, it's the journey. Like, it's always going to be about the journey. And we need to slow down enough to be able to witness all the beautiful things that's happening on that journey. And as much as I hate the idea of a world pandemic, I love the idea of the world slowing down. And I love the idea that my priorities have changed. I can't speak for anybody else, but
Yeah.
I love that I no longer care about literally, and the only ideals that has stayed is my love for God, my love for people, my love for my wife, my love for my friends, and my love for cars. And the car thing is only because that is the vehicle that I use to connect with God in his nature. It's literally the best part of it, is driving to some type of God-created thing and taking it in. It is absolutely magnificent to me. But those are my only things. Everything else has gone by the wayside. I don't remember the last time I put on a pair of jeans. And I can't imagine me putting some on.
I did today, and when I was going through my jeans, I was like, wow, I have a lot of jeans. I forgot about all these jeans.
I hate it. I don't even.
I got
I'm
a
just,
lot of pants to not wear.
I literally am only buying swim trunks from here on out because I don't even want to put on underwear. I just want the normal built-in underwear, and that's it. I don't even want to put on underwear.
There was one more thing that I wanted to throw in the pot of rushing through before we wrap it up, is healing, rushing through healing. I know someone who's going through a divorce, and it's been a little over a year. They're still going through it. And in the beginning, it was dark, depression, ugly thoughts, was depression skinny, lost so much weight, just tears bursting out of nowhere in the middle of the day, just really, really dark times. and going through that season, and then going through a season of finding your strength, and then going through a season of looking in deep and what you need to work on yourself as a person, and coming all the way around to a whole year has gone by, and to see the growth in this person that was not going to happen. They needed to go through that really dark season of like depression skinny, because they just could not eat anything because they were so hurting inside. Having to go through that to learn to be on this side of it right here. Like, you have to go through it slowly. You can't rush through that. You're going to miss the lessons. You're going to miss the thing that God was showing you that you needed to work on, so that in your next relationship, you don't bring that to it again, because this is unhealthy. This is not your highest self. This is not the best part of you. This is what you need to let go of. But if you are rushing through that hurt, you wouldn't have seen it. And then you're going to repeat it again in the next relationship or whatever it may be. So I just wanted to throw that in the pot as well, as healing is something that we want to rush through because it hurts so bad.
Yes.
But we can't.
That is definitely a good one.
To me, that's been this season of healing for me. It's funny because William was over. This is like maybe a week before the pandemic started, or not started, but at least the shelter in place was issued. And we were watching the show on Netflix called The Midnight Gospel. It's like this animated series. It's more adult themed, and it's not Christian. So I want to just if you want to watch it, go watch it. But anyways, there's this scene, and this guy, he travels to these other multiverses out in the universe, and he interviews them for his space pod. It's like a space podcast. So it's kind of a funny theme. So it's literally just like podcast form, like as far as the audio, and just animated series. Very interesting. So anyways, he's talking with this one guy, and it's the president of the United States at that time, and they're talking about drugs. Anyways, there comes a scene where these zombies are attacking people. And, like when you see a zombie usually in a thing, it's like, ugh,
right.
And they're moving slow. Except in World War Z, where zombies move fast. Scary as hell.
Best movie.
I want my zombies to be slow. Anyways, so these zombies are moving slow. What ends up happening is these guys get bit by the zombies, and they turn into zombies. And as he's having this awakening of turning into a zombie, he finds out something. That the zombies aren't actually making the sound, but now that he's become a zombie, he can hear the song that they're actually singing, which is interesting. So in this song, they have this line. They said, "We move slow. We don't have to run anymore because the only thing we were running from was love." And
Wow.
I'm listening to this, and I start crying, and I'm thinking, oh, my God. I keep my schedule so filled and so busy because deep down inside, I am running from love that is trying to heal me.
Wow.
And again, I realized, the only reason I'm running fast is because I'm running from love. So slowing down, I feel like it puts you in this place to actually be aware of this love, this thing we call God, some call the universe. I believe that the direction and the flow of the universe is love, that God is love. And love moves slow. So are you moving at a pace which you can receive love? Or are you moving at a pace which you're pushing it away that could ultimately bring you your healing and your best self? So, man, that song of the zombies, it hits so hard. Like, we have no reason to run anymore because the only thing we're running from was love. So,
Song of Psalms, Song of Zombies, like whatever.
Dude, let's go. God, use it. Come on.
That's good, man. We can do a whole nother podcast just on that. That's a great way to end it. Hey, man, if you guys are feeling this stuff, man, leave comments below on the YouTube. If you're not following us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell so that you can get alerted when we drop new videos. And share it with your friends. It means the world. It literally helps us. Algorithms. I'm going to keep saying it. Algorithms are a biatch. And if you're not getting likes and shares, that crap, you don't even show up. So if you value this pod, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. I keep saying it. We have 8,000 followers on Instagram, but not even close to that many subscribers. So we hope that you guys join us on this little journey that we're doing. And we appreciate every single person that is for real down with us. And we hope you got something from this. We hope you slowed down to listen to this whole pod.
Yeah.
We hope that your day didn't get away from you. And then you're like, I can't listen to this. This shit's too long. But we appreciate you if you made it this far. And we are grateful. Thank you so much. And like we always say, we hope you find a seat at the table. But if you don't, you are always welcome at ours. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.